Hey everyone, it's that time. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time as we wrap up the work week and head into the weekend. Of course, we've got a lot to talk about again today, so let's not waste any time. We'll get right to it. Our forecast yesterday worked out pretty nicely. Most of the valley picked up somewhere between 3 and 6 inches worth of snow during the course of Thursday. And then we have just been left with a few random flurries today. Here's a look at the map showing the current snow cover across the U.S. Pretty deep, extensive snow cover across a lot of the country. Let me zoom out for a second, and this is just shows you how much of the country is covered by snow, all the way down into the southern Appalachians now. Our snow depth locally, since we picked up 3 to 6 inches yesterday, we had a few inches in many spots New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. You know, we've got a pretty healthy snowpack now as I zoom in on the greater Youngstown area. Some of these darker colors, upwards of 6, 7, 8 inches worth of snow, especially north of I-80, northern Trumbull County, northern Mercer County. We've got a solid probably 8 inches of snow on the ground in a lot of places. Closer you are to Youngstown, and then especially down into Columbiana County, the total snow depth is probably closer to 5 inches or so. But yeah, healthy snowpack. And this is going to be important as we head into next week as Arctic air dives out of Canada. And we mean Arctic air, coldest air in 20 years. It's going to go over this snowpack, and because there's deep snow on the ground, the air won't modify much. A lot of times when you have bare ground, and especially early in the season when the Great Lakes are kind of warm, the air mass can be modified as it comes out of Canada. In other words, it's not as harsh. But with this much snow, the lake's starting to freeze over, the air mass is not going to undergo much modification during the first half of next week. All right, so another cool way to view the current snow cover, visible satellite picture this afternoon. Beautiful shot here. All of this white, or most of it anyway, in Pennsylvania up into New England, is not cloud cover. It's fresh snow just fallen over the last 24 hours. This turned out to be a whopper of a storm for New England. They had up to 15 inches of snow around Boston, and lots and lots of white heading back into Pennsylvania. And as I take a look at Ohio, again, a lot of this is not cloud cover, that is, but snow cover that's showing up in this kind of grayish tinge, white almost. And then you do find some legitimate clouds up here in northeast Ohio this afternoon, especially up towards the lake where there's still a few flurries and snow showers around. So overall, we've got a little sunshine trying to work in. It's not helping the temperature much. Look at these mid-afternoon readings. I hope you can see them on your screen. It's no higher than the lower teens throughout Ohio, throughout western Pennsylvania. As I put up the pressure analysis, this is one thing we do have going for us. The wind has relaxed. Little bubble of high pressure is built into Ohio this afternoon. And notice the lines of equal pressure, the isobars, they're not nearly as close together as they were last night. They are closer together over towards the East Coast where it's windy. But here in Ohio, western Pennsylvania, the wind, not much of a story this afternoon. So the wind chills are not real outrageous. So that is a little good news. All right, let's talk about the weekend. I've been advertising for the last couple of days. Saturday, not a bad day at all. We're going to see the sun, and it's going to warm up. We may not get much above freezing, but hey, when we've been down in the single digits and teens, freezing sounds pretty nice. So Saturday afternoon's looking tranquil. Sunday, not so tranquil, especially late in the day. Here comes our Arctic attack. I think Sunday morning, which I'm showing here on this map, is going to be fairly calm. I think our snow becomes more and more likely towards the end of the day. So towards sunset and even after sunset. So if you want to do some traveling on Sunday, I think that you'll be all right, certainly in the first half of the day. Even the second half of the day, until it gets to be dark, you should be in pretty good shape. So not too bad at all for most of Sunday. Now this is 7 p.m. on Sunday. Here's when the precipitation is going to be pivoting in from the west. Big question is, what type of precipitation is going to be falling here? And I think the odds favor, especially from Youngstown on south, the odds favor a little mixing going on. I could see where there's some raindrops trying to mix with the snow. I could see where maybe there's a little sleet trying to mix in. And that's going to cut down on our snow accumulations. So that's something we're going to have to watch out for Sunday evening. A little tongue of warm air trying to sneak in. There won't be any mixing off to the west, though. So Cleveland, Mansfield, Worcester, this is all snow, and they're going to get a healthy dumping again. By 1 in the morning on Monday, this is already pivoting through this steady batch of precipitation. So I expect precipitation, it'll probably be snow by the end of the night, Monday night, to wind down pretty quickly. And then Monday during the day, we're left with snow showers. Maybe there's some small additional accumulations, but the big story is definitely going to become the wind and the cold on Monday. This is Monday afternoon's map. Notice how tightly packed the isobars, the lines of equal pressure are. Lots and lots of wind accompanying the Arctic attack here during the day Monday. And Tuesday looks uneventful in terms of precipitation, maybe flurries. But the big story Tuesday is, of course, it's going to be the coldest day in 20 years here in Youngstown and throughout the region. We haven't seen this kind of air since January 19th and 20th of 1994. That was when we set our all-time record low in Youngstown of minus 22. I think that record's safe, but we're going to make a run at it. The European model, which I'm showing here, has been very consistent in its forecasted overnight temperatures Monday night into Tuesday morning. Here's what it still has: a minus 23 for the actual temperature in southern Trumbull County, where the airport is. Even though it's been consistent, I'm not quite ready to buy it just yet. It's had a little bit of a bias of being too cold, the European model, this winter. So I'm not ready to buy that it's going to be minus 22 or minus 23 Tuesday morning, but I can see where it's going to be minus 15, minus 16, and that's not even counting the wind. I think there will be some wind chill values, perhaps as low as minus 35 Tuesday morning. When you combine the air temperature in the negative teens with winds gusting to 35 miles per hour, minus 35 wind chill, that's really dangerous. That's the kind of air that, if you have any exposed skin, you can get frostbite in under 15 minutes, maybe even under 10 minutes, if you have exposed skin and you're outside on Tuesday morning. You know, this is going to be this kind of situation where, unfortunately, a lot of people are going to have frozen pipes, perhaps burst pipes. This is the kind of thing where there's going to be a lot of car batteries dying. AAA is going to be very busy Tuesday. So it's the kind of thing that we don't see that often around here. And this type of intense cold, again, we haven't seen in about 20 years. All right, so how much snow? That's the big question. Before we get to the cold, how much snow? Well, the GFS model, which I'm showing here, remains the most optimistic, if you like snow, model in terms of accumulations. Of course, Youngstown right in about here. Some of these totals are up around 3, 4, maybe 5 inches. Definitely higher totals off to the west, though. This is going to be a western and central Ohio special, west of I-71, with our snow late Sunday and Sunday night. The European model has even less. This only gives us a little less than an inch worth of snow around Youngstown, and then amounts ramp up very quickly. West of I-71 could be 6, 7, 8 inches. Toledo, Dayton, Sandusky, places like that. So that's the European. And then the Canadian model, which is pretty similar to the European model, very sharp cutoff, and that cutoff is a little west of Youngstown. Youngstown, maybe less than 2 inches, maybe even less than an inch. And then you start to see very, very dramatic increases in snow, according to a couple of our models here, including the Canadian. Once you're west of Akron, Cleveland, Mansfield, Worcester, western suburbs of Columbus, down towards Dayton. That's where the bullseye is going to be with this. So right now our forecast is probably going to be officially for most of the Mahoning Valley kind of a 1 to 3 inch range. Your best chance of seeing 3, it looks like, out of this will be the farther west you are. So extreme western parts of Trumbull County, maybe even western parts of Mahoning County. That's where you might get the higher end of the range, 3 inches or so. You're going to be hard-pressed to see much more than an inch, it looks like, out of this southeastern Columbiana County, down towards, say, East Liverpool. All right, so that's the snow. We talked about the cold. We talked about the wind chills. When are we going to snap out of this? It's going to last a few days next week, but the models are consistent in bringing up a warm-up in about a week. So at the end of next week, as we head towards the 10th, 11th of the month, maybe even we go above average for a couple of days, a few days here in about a week. So worst of the cold is going to be Monday afternoon, Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday. Once we're done with Wednesday, I think at the end of next week, we're going to snap out of this, and the really intense cold, the deep freeze of 2014, will be over. All right, thanks for watching our afternoon edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll be on 21 News tonight at 6 and 11. Jess is in tomorrow morning to cover WFMJ Weekend Today, talking about the latest information, and I'll be on WFMJ Weekend Today Sunday morning for you early risers with the very latest on the coming snow and the cold.